Hey, what's up, mofos? Treasure Valley, my Facebook peeps. I wanted to jump on today and drop some tactics you guys can use to absolutely dominate anything. But for this particular video, I'm going to gear it towards fitness or body transformation. Because, everybody wants to look good, feel good. And I've been in this business long enough to know when you are confident in here and in here, it opens up doors to opportunities that you can't believe. For instance, I got into fitness. So growing up through high school, I was like a track star. I played football and wrestled and stuff like that. But primarily, I was like, I could run super fast. Okay. Went to state all 4 years, all that kind of fun stuff. But I never really worked out. It was just natural ability with my speed. I was a smaller kid. As many of you know, if you grew up with me, I graduated high school at like 130 pounds. So super tiny, never worked out, nothing like that. Just whatever was specific to the sport I was doing, that's what I did. And so after I graduated, then there was nothing. There's no sports or anything after high school, at least when you grow up in Wendell and Hagerman. There's just drugging, boozing, and having sex, and that's what you do when you're from a small town. So anyway, when I was 20, I re-met my wife, Robin. We actually have known each other since sixth grade. We're standing right next to each other in sixth grade. And, I'm all pissed off because that's what I was. I was a pissed off kid. I don't think we ever spoke through high school except maybe one party that I threw, because I was the kid who threw tons of parties. And Robin was like the most beautiful girl in school and completely out of my league. So when we got together, we were both 20, 21. It was pretty cool because I obviously found my soulmate right away. But regardless of that, when we decided to move in together, we were 22 and we just partied our ass off. That's how we met. We met at a party. Drinking was like a thing that we did together. And then after a couple years of doing that, it started getting ugly. I started becoming a person that I never wanted to become. And it was just time to stop that, right? So there was an incident, it was gross, and it's, lots of regret. And Robin and I sat down, we decided we have got to, we've got to do something else. We've got to refill this hole, this void that we're filling with something else, something more productive. And Robin suggested, we lived in an apartment complex, and she suggested that we take up fitness. There's a gym right down in our apartment complex. And I was like, all right, that sounds cool. Like I knew some exercises. So I'm like, yeah, let's just give it a shot. And so we did that. And what I mean by when you're confident in your body and your abilities of your body and how it can open up a lot of opportunities, I'm saying that because that's exactly what it did for me. So what I mean is we started working out. We committed to 7 p.m. every night. We'd go, we'd crush it. No, we absolutely sucked ass. I remember I could only press 20-pound dumbbells over my head for like 6 reps, okay? And for those of you that know me now, know that that's like incredibly sad and pathetic. I was just at the gym today and I had 85s and I was doing sets of 8. So very humbling. And I think that's one of the biggest obstacles is for people. That's why they don't really adopt this lifestyle, is because they go in and they see just how fucking shitty they are at exercising, and they get to experience how weak they are and how not good at it they are. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be good at new things. You're not supposed to be strong yet. You're not supposed to be to know how to hold your core in, and you're not supposed to know these things. Just like anything new that you do, you're supposed to suck ass at it. It's the determination, the consistency that gets you through it, right? So that's what we did. We were not going to go back to the lifestyle of going to the bar twice a week and getting shit-faced and spending a bunch of money that we didn't even have. We decided to dump everything into this. And it just took off. Like, it really resonated with me. And I can't speak for Robin, at least in the beginning of those years. It was just something I believe she was doing to help me get the drinking out of my life. And now it's a completely adopted lifestyle for both of us. Like, working out is just as important to me as eating. And once you make it that a priority, that's when it becomes a lifestyle. But what I'm saying is, after I started doing this and I started seeing my abilities kind of like rapidly coming, like I was getting strong really fast, and I could run on the treadmill, because at this time we both smoked, and I ended up giving it up like right after we started working out. And so I was able to run at like 9 miles an hour for a whole minute or something. I could just see my abilities coming. And one of the things I always wanted to do was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And back then I was probably 150 pounds, 155 pounds, super swole. And so I was really insecure about like doing that. And Robin was doing hair, and she had a client that's like, hey, I know a guy, he does one-on-one jiu-jitsu training. Shout out Tom Supnet. He's an amazing dude and a hell of a coach for no-gi jiu-jitsu. But anyway, as I got more confident in my fitness abilities, that allowed me to get the gumption and courage up to approach Tom and ask him, say, I want to do this. Will you coach me? And I would have never done that before had I not gotten confidence from fitness training, okay? And so that's what I mean by it opens up doors. It doesn't open up any doors. It opens up doors within yourself to go do the shit you want to really do and quit being a little baby and quit being afraid. And so that was the first thing. I started jiu-jitsu, and then pretty soon I couldn't afford the one-on-one session, so I had to do the group, which was even more nerve-wracking. I suffered with horrible social anxiety back then. That's why I drank, is because I had a ton of anxiety, and when I drank, I got super confident and want to take on the world. Except you just can't, because you're a slobbery piece of crap when you're drunk. So this really took off for me. Like, I completely adopted it. I became an obsession, and I started teaching myself everything I could. Like, we didn't have the money for me to go to college or any of that bullshit. And so I'm 90% self-taught. I've got a ton of certifications now, but most of my knowledge comes from everything I've taught myself on the internet, and from other people. There's no better way to learn something than from a coach, right? I'll get back to that later. So confidence is going up. At the time, I was working at Sorrento, the cheese plant in Nampa here, and I was making whey protein, and I knew that whey protein had something to do with people that worked out. But at this point in my fitness career, I didn't know shit about nutrition. And that was one of the areas I really nerded out on. I love learning about nutrition. So started learning about that, gaining more confidence in that. And at the cheese plant, there was a supervisor position open. And at the time, I was 26 years old, and it was really intimidating to try to put in for a supervisor spot at that age, because in that dynamic and in that, atmosphere, like it was all the older guys that were the supervisors, right? And I put in for it and I didn't get it. But I had the balls finally to put in for it. About another year goes by and I'm gaining more and more knowledge. Another supervisor job opens up. And let me tell you, the first time I put in for the supervisor job, I completely did not expect to get it. I like had the courage to fill out the form and like apply, but I didn't have the belief in myself or the belief in whatever to think that I would get that job. And guess what? I didn't. So fast forward a year, I'm even more confident in who I am. I've met amazing people. One of the most amazing people in my life is Victor Greenfield, or VJ Greenfield. And he had just started, and that guy really taught me what it was to push myself in training. And so I worked with him for a while. Supervisor job came up. I was even more confident. And this time when I put in for it, I absolutely knew I would get it. No matter what any of my coworkers were saying, which if you work in a production facility, you know it's pretty rough neck and you got to have some thick ass skin. So put it in, was fully confident that I got it, and I got it. Youngest supervisor ever hired at that time. I don't know, there's probably a 10-year-old running the place now, but that is really what I mean when you're confident in your body and your abilities of your physical state. It lends confidence to other areas for you to go kick down doors and do more, okay? So if all you got from fitness was the confidence to do the things you didn't ever try before, the lifestyle is worth it tenfold, okay? It's worth it to adopt this lifestyle because it's not about, I mean, yeah, it's always nice to look good, right? But it's not about that. It's about the confidence you have to face the things you've never faced before. And people are like, well, how the hell does getting in shape make you confident in getting a job or doing these things that I'm too afraid to do? And I'll tell you why. It's because you took the time to learn something about yourself. You took the time to master something for yourself. That's where the confidence comes in. You're not confident because you got a six-pack. You don't go in and go, I'm going to get this job because I got big biceps or I've got a tight ass or whatever. It's because you took that time to work on yourself, okay? And that's what gives you the confidence to do other things. You're like, shit, if I manage this, I can do that, okay? So with this video today, I wanted to go over like 5 tactics that allow you to get where you want to be, okay? And this really can be used on any format, but I'm going to talk about it as it pertains to body transformation. So, excuse me, winter screws up my sinuses. Anyway, number one thing you got to have is goals, right? You've got to have a destination. If you don't have a destination and you start something, you'll get lost very quickly. And to be quite honest, you'll quit, you know, and that's why I had to obsess about education, because I really didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't really know where to go. And so as I learned more, I'm like, oh, that's what I want. And I wanted to get strong as hell, right? I wanted to be the most strong person for my size. And I've achieved that. I'm very strong for my size, and that allows me the confidence to do things. Not because I know I'm strong, because I know I've achieved a level of strength that most men, most people don't, okay? So, like I said, number one, you gotta have goals, but that's not it. You have to define those goals. And I mean, get detailed, write them down in detail. If it comes to a body transformation, what exactly do you look like? How does that feel? What does your food taste like that you're eating? Can you imagine this goal and put yourself in that situation? That's what really is going to help ignite the fire to pursue that goal. And All that really is law of attraction. And that doesn't mean you sit in a chair and you wish for something and you want something and then God or the universe or a tooth fairy comes and like drops it in your lap. No, the visualization and feeling it and making it real, that's what it does. It makes it real. It's like, oh, I can do this. I can kick down this door. So tactic number 1, set a goal and define it in fine detail. And then after you define it, feel it, imagine it. What's it going to feel like when you get there? Okay? That's number 1. Super easy. Number 2, you're not going to do everything all at once. Okay? So number 2 is take it step by step. Make baby steps. For maybe the first thing you're going to do is you just commit to working out 3 times a week. You can download a workout. You can fucking make it up. Watch people. I watched people when I was in the gym. Like, what are they doing? I want to look like that. So what are they doing? So pick one thing, ask yourself, what's the first thing I could do to head in the right direction of getting this thing that I want to get? And whatever it is, write it down under the goal along with a deadline, okay? A deadline of when this is going to be accomplished. Or if it's a sequential thing, if it's a thing that happens all the time, like working out 3 days a week, commit to 90 days, 30 days, 40 days of working out 3 days a week, okay? Then I'll take you to tactic 3. This is where it gets awesome. So you have established a habit of working out 3 times a week, right? Now what you want to do, once that habit is built, and it takes about 60 days to build a habit. So I'll just tell you, try to set a 60-day goal. Okay, so you've been working out 3 days a week. It's been 60 days. You're feeling confident in that routine. Now let's add on something else. Okay, let's drink a gallon of water every day. Okay, and then you establish that habit for 60 days. Now you're working out 3 times a week. You're drinking a gallon of water every single day. And now it's time for the next one. And that's tactic number 3, is you add the steps as you build the habit. You don't have to rush into this all at once. And this is primarily directed towards people that want to try this on your own. But it's also something we do at BodyFit with our coaching practice. Yes, we have a list of different things that our clients have to do, and they have a personal coach to help them achieve that. But if this is someone that's just brand new to this world, we don't force them to try to accomplish all of this shit all at once, because it's just going to overwhelm them and they're going to quit. Okay. So what we do is we pick which ones we want them to master first, and then they work on that for a week or 2. Then we add in, all right, let's do this. And then we work on that. And that's how it goes. It's one step at a time, guys. You're not going to walk into a friggin' gym and 30 days later have the body of your dreams and know how to eat exactly how you should eat and drink the water and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Okay? It's just not going to happen. Baby steps. Tactic number 4. This is huge. This is probably the most most effective tactic, is get an accountability partner. Get someone, if it's a friend, get them to commit with you. The tough thing about having a buddy or a spouse or someone outside or someone that's close to you as your buddy, what if you've mentally made that commitment to work out 3 times a week, drink your water, blah, 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 but they're kind of wishy-washy on 1 or 2 of them? That's probably not a great accountability partner. So what I would recommend is get a coach, okay? And that's what we specialize in at BodyFit, is coaching. This isn't a personal trainer. This is a coach. This is someone that's going to hold you accountable to the things that you say you're going to do, all right? And they're there to educate you, and nurture you and support you and answer questions. But most importantly, a coach is there to take you through the process so you finish what you start, okay? That is, so many people start and they don't finish things because they lose momentum. An emergency happens, blah, blah, blah. Life's going to fucking happen no matter what you do. So you may as well build a habit that's self-care, that's building on self-care and giving you the confidence you need to do other things, right? So getting a coach is paramount. My life completely changed when I got my first coach. Shout out to Michael Price. He was my very first coach. He was Tony Robbins trained. And he was absolutely phenomenal. And at times I would get so frustrated because he was helping me break shit habits and limiting beliefs that I had and language patterns that I had about myself. And at times, sorry, Michael, but at times I hated him. I'm like, God, why don't you shut your mouth? Like, this is not, well, you know, anytime you try shit that's new, it's uncomfortable and you're like, I don't want to do that. But if you want to grow as a human being and grow as an individual, you have to do things that suck. You have to do things that make you feel, ew. It's the only way to grow, okay? I look back at my time with Michael with such gratitude and reverence, to be honest, that I get emotional about him. I'm getting emotional right now because he completely changed my mental state on how to achieve success in life. And so when it came time to hire a new coach, which was Alex Hormozi and Gym Launch and all this, you know, this amazing Gym Lords community I belong to, I had the foundation, right? And I remember Alex, after we started, we signed up like 103 people in our first 2 weeks. And Alex was like, you just needed tools. You just needed someone to guide you. I'm like, yeah, because I had the foundation. I had the information. I just didn't know how to put it together. And that's the beauty of having a coach, because a lot of us have so much expertise and so many talents, we just don't know what the hell to do with them. And a coach can help you figure that path out, all right? So that's number 4, probably the most valuable of all of these, is getting a coach and putting your trust in somebody to help you get there, okay? The final tactic is, if you're making progress towards your goal, you know, should you confine yourself to the baby steps forever? And no, at some point you learn, okay, I can adopt a habit. Like at some point you've stacked these skills up, right? You've stacked all these habits that you've mastered. And so your confidence should be at a point to where you don't have to do baby steps anymore. You can take quantum leaps. You can take big jumps towards goals, okay? And what that means is, like, if you feel like taking a big, bold leap, go for it. But make sure you have those basic habits down and they've solidified into your psyche and into your physical being, so it's second nature, right? So spend a lot of time on those baby steps, but when it comes time to really make a difference in your life, do not be afraid to take big leaps towards goals, all right? And, you know, ask yourself if you still want the thing that you're headed towards. If the answer is yes, come up with the next step and make it a huge one, a big step, a quantum leap, if you will. So that are my most valuable 5 tactics to achieving anything you want, but primarily, as this video is intended for, body transformation and adopting a fitness lifestyle. I hope it was valuable, and I'm going to start doing these videos more and more. Due to time constraints and stuff like that, my goal is once a week, baby steps, and then as I achieve once a week, maybe I'll do 2 a week, and then 3, and then start my own YouTube channel or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, guys, have an awesome night. I hope it's an amazing day. Talk to you soon.